Good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar today, Autodesk and Higher Education Institutions, What You Need to Know About Licensing in BIM. My name is Linda Netzer, and I'm with Applied Software as an Education Account Advisor. And my email, my contact information is right there if you want to copy that down. And I'd like to thank you for taking a little bit of time to talk to us today. Also on the call with me is my moderator, David Moore. He is my assistant in the education market, and he will be taking questions throughout the presentation, and he will interrupt me when there are some good questions that pertain to the topic we're talking about. Welcome again to our webinar today. So don't forget to put in your questions. Here's a little bit about Applied Software. We are an Autodesk authorized education partner. We were founded in 1982 and we're one of the largest Autodesk resellers in the United States. Our application specialists are just like you, architects, professional engineers, project managers, and designers. Our training, mentoring, and consulting services are based on the real-world scenarios that you experience daily. We are an authorized Autodesk training center, and we are a platinum level partner, and you can expect best-in-class solutions from pre- and post-sales support, consulting, training, implementation, and customization. Today, everybody wants to know, what is BIM? Building Information Modeling. What's really important to know is it's the I in BIM, the information. That's what we're going to be talking about today. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see what BIM is not. BIM is not 3D, BIM is not data, BIM is not 3D plus data, and BIM is not software. BIM is a process, an intelligent 3D model-based process. It provides greater insight for creating and managing projects faster, more economically, and with less environmental impact. Why BIM? This is a question we get all the time here at Applied Software. Why should we embrace BIM? Well, it's important to understand that there's one BIM file that's an information-rich file, and this one file makes simplified file management. This is one of the design challenges that we have today. You'll be able to control versions, and you'll be able to improve your design quality, which means less rework in the field, more field productivity. You'll be able to reduce complex and associated changes, and you'll be able to reduce your construction costs and your duration. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see a couple of BIM uses that we're going to talk about today. And we're just going to touch on a few of them. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. If you've got more questions about BIM, please put them in the chat or email me, and we can talk offline. On the left-hand side, you see these additional BIM uses: programming, conceptual design, construction documents, change it once, enhanced design processes, design options, phasing, building analysis, and rendering. These are just some of the uses of BIM that we have found, and we're going to talk about a couple of them and drill down a little bit on a few of them. And what you're looking at on the screen at the bottom is a wind analysis, and on the center is a color key, and this is something we see a lot of our colleges and universities using their Autodesk software for, is identifying spaces and reconfiguring different spaces. And at the top, you can, of course, see an elevation that is very helpful for understanding the project. The most important thing to consider about BIM is the change it once features. One project, one update. The geometry changes the data, and the data changes geometry. And a good way to think about this is if you change something in the plan, the elevation, the sections, the 3D views, and the schedules update. And it goes around and around. If you change something in the schedule, all the other items change as well. This is really where the greatest benefit of BIM is. What you're looking at here on this screen is a screenshot of Revit, and you've got 4 different views, and you've got your 3D view, your plan view, your 2D view, and your schedule. And if you make a change in that 146 door label, then that change is reflected throughout the document. This is really where the value of BIM is. Another thing that we see our colleges and universities accessing is the design coordination aspects of BIM. And this allows for walkthroughs. You can see looking at a 3D model is far is vastly improved in comparison to a 2D model. This really helps your stakeholders. The collaboration that you have with your outside consultants and your program verification, this is one of the strengths of BIM. Now, we get this question all the time. What is the value? We understand what BIM is. We have seen it operate in a couple of different projects, and we really need to understand the value of it. Why should we do it? The information can be leveraged throughout the building life cycle. That's what's really important, especially in colleges and universities that don't hand over their buildings to an owner. You are the owner, so you're going to be managing these buildings for long periods of time. The BIM process is a change in workflow, and that is something that's different, but that's where the value is. Decisions made earlier in the design process cost less time and money than decisions made later. And finally, utilizing 3D modeling can move project stakeholders to commit faster. And so everywhere along the way, when you're working on a project, having these stakeholders being able to visualize it in 3D really does make a big difference. And we do have a few facilities managers on the call today, and I wanted to address a couple of your issues, specifically about why BIM and facilities management. As we said before, BIM is a process. Autodesk provides the authoring tools, and it's important to understand that facilities managers do not need to be experts in CAD or 3D modeling. It's about the collaboration. And BIM is about managing that FM data and virtual construction hand in hand. And BIM is not about more work, it's about smarter working. One thing that's, we get this question all the time, does it make sense to do it on a small project? And absolutely. All types of projects, from housing to hospitals, renovations and retrofits, BIM is incredibly useful. And the project size does not matter, and as we move forward, BIM will become the standard. And BIM allows facilities managers to focus on post-occupancy evaluations, and FM will need to support the collection, the interpretation, and the analysis of that data. Facilities departments need new skills to engage with BIM, and they need greater efforts on the front end of project development. So again, that goes to the change of workflow. Maybe how you've always done projects, BIM is definitely a change. So oftentimes I'm asked this question, you know, we're interested in BIM, we understand the value, but how do we get started? The first thing you're going to want to look at is developing your BIM standards, and you can utilize an experienced array of talent here at Applied Software to help you streamline planning and execution of your new buildings, of your renovation, and your space planning. And we can help you develop BIM execution plans for all types of projects, and we also have had some great experience working on institution-wide plans for University of Central Florida and Georgia Tech, and we'd be happy to talk with you about our experiences working with our institutions in developing more BIM standards. Another great place to start is to streamline your CAD tasks, and this is something I've seen a lot at campuses. Revising existing spaces and determining FM needs. That's something that a lot of people do as CAD tasks at campuses, and a lot of times that's done on a spreadsheet. So working with Autodesk tools, you can make that a more holistic process that captures all the data automatically. So it's a big streamline. And of course, we offer training, whether it's online, in person, or on demand. And a little bit of a shameless plug for Applied Software here and what you have when you're talking with us. Again, our training and consulting expertise, and that really can help you navigate some common pitfalls. We are a Platinum Partner with Autodesk, and that gives us buying power and access to GSA schedules for best pricing. We will support your IT teams with free assistance every step of the installation procedure, and this is a good time to mention that anytime you purchase Autodesk software from Applied Software, you will find that it's not simply a transaction. We're interested in building a relationship with you and helping you to utilize your Autodesk software as best as can be during your usage of the products, and so we hope that you'll be able to take advantage of our vast array of experts. One thing that we are going to talk about today is applied software is part of a unique Autodesk program that helps our customers analyze and evaluate their Autodesk software usage across numerous workstations. This program is called the SAM program, and I've got a special guest. His name is Chris Munson. He's going to speak on the next slide about this. You almost ready, Chris? I heard you're on the call. You're next. And finally, just one last thing about applied software. You can expect world-class customer service and care throughout the process. Again, we want to build a relationship with you. We want to help you utilize Autodesk software, and we have the experts to do it. All right. Chris, can you come on the line?
I'm on the line, Linda.
Excellent. I'm going to mute while you are talking, and I'm going to flip through, as we discussed, the different points.
Drive away. Thank you. So my name is Chris Munson. I head up the Autodesk Software Asset Management SAM program for Autodesk's Americas program. And one of the things that we are really proud about Applied Software is that they are a SAM approved partner for Autodesk. So we have allowed them to go through a program to understand the intricate details around Autodesk licensing and ways of identifying the installations, as well as confirming ways of providing customers with better configurations for Autodesk licensing. They go through a training program, they have the staff and the resources to go through the process with our customers, and they're an approved Autodesk partner for software asset management. One of the benefits of SAM that we see for our customers is truly the enhanced productivity that our end users will have, because you'll have more visibility into the actual software licenses from Autodesk from an installation perspective, but also from a registration perspective as well. A lot of times customers will try to find ways of tracking our software through Applied Software and through our SAM program. You will have the ability to do it with the tools provided by Autodesk, as well as the resources and process. Also, improving on your planning and purchasing and managing of Autodesk software really helps you with the is really helped and aided through the SAM process. Autodesk does have the ability to, when people go through licenses, they upgrade licenses to newer versions. They can get confused about what versions they currently have active to them and using in their environment. Also, being able to do an inventory of installations as registrations throughout the organization. Okay. And then other areas, again, there's ways of reducing your risk too. There are ways of making sure that you have the right software licenses for your end users and effectively track those licenses with the tools and the process that Autodesk recommends. A lot of times customers, we have discovered, have been, they'd be spending more money on our software than necessary. They typically do not realize that they actually have some licenses available to them, and they can sometimes reallocate and reutilize some software assets in their environment. Also, being able to identify areas where they can cross-grade our licenses or get our licenses to go from a standalone type of version to a networked type of version. So being able to have more users use a smaller pool of licenses. Also, there is the value of making sure that you're going through a SAM process to ensure that you are running compliant software. Autodesk does have an auditing program that contacts customers directly, and when those types of audits do occur and there are non-compliant situations, customers would have to work with the Autodesk license compliance team to make the necessary purchases. When you go through SAM with someone like, with a group like Applied Software, you'd be able to identify that yes, we are in a compliant state with Autodesk software. And again, making sure that you're getting the correct support and usage of the licenses that you have allocated and purchased by your organization. All right. Thank you, Linda.
Fantastic, Chris. Thank you so much. And Dave, are there any questions so far? Dave, my moderator, did I lose him? All right, Dave, I'm going to go on. Just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. If you've got any questions, let me know. Next slide. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about Autodesk licensing policy changes. And this is probably why many of you are here. Autodesk's entire portfolio of design and engineering products are now free for academic use. However, it's no longer free for other uses including facilities management, housing, physical plant, transportation, and some research departments. Applied Software has some tools to help you determine what the best plan is for moving forward. And this is for all the folks that are either teachers or students. You can utilize your Autodesk free licenses, and if this applies to you, I just put the website up here, autodesk.com/education, and this is the way you will access your free software. And just remember my email, linda@asti.com. If you've got any problems at all when you get to that website, accessing your free licenses, please give me a call, and we will try to solve that out for you.
Hi, Linda. We just had a question come in.
Great.
This is Dave. Isn't Autodesk going to eliminate the perpetual and network licenses starting in January 2016?
That is a great question, whoever asked that, and I've got a whole bunch of slides on that, so if you'll hold tight, I promise I will answer that question. We're going to talk more about how Autodesk's changing business model is going to affect the decisions that you need to make right here. So the next couple slides, and I'll get to that in a minute, but the next few slides talks a little bit about our applied software process for helping our campuses figure out what they need. This is a snapshot of survey results. We'll help you survey your users, and if you see on the left-hand side, you see the username, and this is just a survey, generic survey that we did with another college, and on the left-hand side, you see all the job titles. You can see how many stations they're working on. You can see the product they're working on. And we ask them to figure the % of their time using the Autodesk products and what products they use. This is going to help us configure your Autodesk products so you're not over or under licensed. And this is to answer that question that we've got coming up. Purchasing Autodesk products, and this is just a little bit 101 on purchasing Autodesk products because many of our colleges and universities are new to this method of purchasing, so we want to make sure you understand how the products work. Number one is the desktop subscription, and this is Autodesk's pay-as-you-go term licenses. Desktop subscription only come in standalone versions and must have a named user. They come in 3-month and annual terms. And if payment is not made at the end of the term, the software stops working. The second way of buying Autodesk products is perpetual licenses plus maintenance subscription. These perpetual licenses come in 2 flavors, a standalone and a network. A network license can be shared among users who are not using the software all day, every day. Perpetual standalone licenses can be turned into network licenses for a fee at any time after purchase. Maintenance subscription can be purchased in 1-, 2-, or 3-year contracts. And here's what you need to know about maintenance subscription. A perpetual product that is not on maintenance subscription will still work. However, it has no value and cannot be upgraded to the next version or cross-graded to another product. In other words, the maintenance subscription allows the perpetual license to maintain its value through the automatic updates it provides. And here we go. And this is also very interesting information. These are the suites that we have found our colleges and universities most likely settle on. Autodesk has a wide variety of products, but we're just going to focus in on 2 products here, the Building Design Suite on the left-hand side of your screen and the Infrastructure Design Suite on the right-hand side of your screen. And if you see, I highlighted in red the different products that are in each suite that are kind of where you need to hone in on. So the standard product on the building design side is AutoCAD. The premium product includes AutoCAD, AutoCAD Architecture, and Revit, and 3ds Max. And the premium includes all of that and adds Navisworks Manage. On the building side is typically where we see most of our universities and colleges, and on the right we have the infrastructure side, and that's for your utility department, your transportation department, and your civil areas of the campus. Again, you have a standard, a premium, and an ultimate. So this is the answer to the question that we just had about the upcoming business model change. Autodesk is moving away from the perpetual licenses and towards the pay-as-you-go model, and this is going to affect how new seats are purchased. So what we were talking about in the previous screen about the suites, those suites are going to be available as perpetual licenses until sometime in 2017. So it's important to understand how these changes will affect you, and what's really important to know is that existing perpetual contracts will be renewed when the time comes. So if the decision is made to purchase a perpetual license, those contracts will be renewed. Now, we've been working with the education clients for quite some time, and we do have some recommendations for navigating these changes. We are recommending that you purchase additional perpetual suites for as long as you can to head off pricing increases, and I'm going to address those pricing increases in just a moment. Now, we talked about the perpetual licenses and adding maintenance subscription, and these are some of the value of the maintenance subscription: the automatic upgrades, predictable budgeting, flexible licensing rights, extended territory rights, and additional cloud services and analysis tools. And when we get into talking about it, I'm happy to pull this conversation offline and talk a little bit more about maintenance subscription. Now, the other methodology we talked about, not perpetual, this is the desktop subscription, pay-as-you-go. There are some advantages to this model, and this is the way that Autodesk is moving in a couple of years. You're going to buy and pay for only what you need, and you're going to get rid of licenses you don't need. This method of buying is available today. Multi-year contracts are available, and actively monitoring your license use can ultimately be where the savings are. And for the financial people out there, it moves Autodesk into an operating expense rather than a capital expense. There are some disadvantages right now, and what we are recommending for a steady business outlook is that the desktop subscription has overall long-term higher pricing right now. Now, those incentives are going to change over the next 6 to 9 to 12 months, but this is how it is right now. Also, there's no network activation at this time, and there's restricted previous version access. So if that's something that's important to you, we need to talk about that. And this is an advantage and a disadvantage. The named users must be managed. If your department is used to setting it and forgetting it, then maybe desktop subscription isn't the right way for you to go. All right, and here's where we're talking about price increases. As I mentioned before, Autodesk is moving towards the pay-as-you-go model, and as an incentive to move people to that model, they're going to be raising prices of the annual maintenance subscription. Past history is that these renewals have gone up 5% every year. We are recommending consideration of a 3-year maintenance subscription contract to head off these price increases, and we wanted to let you know that there are 5% discounts available through July 24th. So if you are considering making an Autodesk purchase, our overall recommendation is perpetual licenses with a 3-year contract, taking advantage of the 5% discount. That's how you're going to get the best pricing. And my last slide here is how we access government GSA scheduled pricing. That's with DLT. We've been a partner for 14 years, and you can see our contract number with DLT, and our contract term is good through 2017. And that's really all I have on my slides here. I see I've made it 42 minutes, and I just want to flash up my contact information here, and I'm going to stop for a second. And Dave, are there any questions?
No, you covered everything. There's
Great.
We just, basically we will be sending out, we can send out copies of the PowerPoint if you would like. That was one of the questions. So.
Yep. Happy to send that out, and happy to do this presentation for your internal folks so we can get everybody up to speed on the changes that are happening at Autodesk, which happen at lightning speed. And here at Applied Software, we consider that our responsibility to make sure that our customers understand how these changes will affect them.
And this was recorded, so we will be sending this out as well.
Correct. It was recorded. We will have a YouTube link for it. Brianna will get that set up for us, and we'll shoot that out to you on the thank you note. And again, please contact us if you've got any questions beyond this, and we look forward to speaking to you.